Welcome back, everybody. Today, I will be filling you in on everything coming to zombies in the Season 1 Reloaded update. So without wasting any time, let's get going. Starting off with some new content coming to the game overall, first, we'll be having a new perk coming to the game, which is Vulture Aid, which was last seen in Black Ops 2. This beloved perk has finally returned with a brand new coat of paint and quite a few changes. At its base, this perk will increase the rarity of drops from enemies. It will also allow zombies to drop points in small ammo drops. These drops will be specific to the player using the perk, so other players won't be able to see or pick them up. This perk will also be available on Liberty Falls and Terminus via the Der Wonderfizz machine that spawns on round 25. Looking at the augment upgrades that'll be available for this perk, starting off with the minor ones, we have Condor's Reach, which will auto pick up loot from further away. Carry on Luggage, which will make it so critical hits have a chance to drop extra salvage. Picky Eater, which will, on death, let zombies have a higher chance of dropping your current equipment. So if you have a concussion grenade, zombies are more likely to drop that rather than, let's say, a stim. Looking on over at the major augments that will be coming with this perk, starting off with Fetid Upgrade. On death, zombies will have a chance to create a gas cloud that charges your field upgrade. Smell of Death, which is the classic ability of this perk, where on death, zombies will have a chance to create a gas cloud that conceals you while standing in it. This will pretty much work exactly like the smoke grenades that already exist in the game. And then lastly, there's Parting Gift, which will make it so Vulture Aid ammo drops give more ammo to wonder weapons, which could be pretty big for wonder weapons that maybe don't have so much ammo. Next, I'll be talking about the brand new ammo mod coming to the game, Light Mend. This ammo mod brings a new form of elemental damage to the game, as well as some new defensive options to the player. At its base, this ammo mod will deal light damage and has a chance to transform normal or special enemies' health into a healing glyph/drop that moves towards injured allies at low health. So it's kind of like a little mini heal. Looking over at the augments for this new ammo mod, starting off with the three minor augments. Longer Life, the healing glyph/drops lifetime is increased. Extra Strength, the healing received from glyph/drops replenishes more health when consumed. And Express Remedy, which will increase the range that the glyph/drop will move towards friendlies. Looking over at the major augments for this ammo mod, starting off with Antibiotic, the healing glyph/drop now damages enemies that touch it, but the lifetime is reduced. Next we have Big Game, which will make it so Light Mend can activate on elite enemies, which will make it so they drop 3 more healing glyph/drops. Lastly, there's Dual Action, which will make it so consuming a healing glyph/drop will temporarily allow you to heal faster, very similar to the way Quick Revive works. Next, looking over at the new field upgrade that'll be coming to the game, this one returns from Black Ops Cold War and is called Tesla Storm. At its base, this field upgrade will connect lightning between players for 10 seconds, stunning and damaging normal enemies. Looking at the augments for this field upgrade, starting off with the minor ones, we have Power Grid, which increases the range of the electrical tether that connects allies. Overclock, which will increase your movement speed during Tesla Storm. And Lithium Charge, which increases Tesla Storm's duration. Then, looking over at the major augments, there's Transformer. Field upgrade damage is increased by the number of allies that are connected. Next, there's Shockwave, which on activation, stun and damage all nearby enemies. And lastly, there's Static Discharge, where on activation, it'll create a lethal surge of electricity around you. Moving on to the Gobblegums that'll be coming in Season 1 Reloaded. Starting off with Power Keg, a rare Gobblegum. This gum will spawn a full power power-up, which recharges your field upgrade. Next, we have Timeout, which is an ultra rare gum. This gum will clear all normal and special enemies and end the current round. And then, for 3 minutes, normal spawning will cease. So you basically have a 3-minute timeout, as the name suggests. Lastly, we have a brand new whimsical called Holiday Cheer. This gum will make it so zombies start spawning with festive decorations, and in some of the pictures we've seen that they have wreaths around their necks. Looking over at the brand new support item that'll be available in Season 1 Reloaded, we have the Hand Cannon. While you could already use this support item thanks to the recent hit list event, it is just being unlocked for a lot of people that aren't familiar with it. This item will give the player a super powerful pistol that'll basically delete normal enemies in front of them, and also deal a lot of damage to special and elite enemies. This also means that it'll be available to those who missed out on it during the hit list event that was happening a couple weeks ago. and can be crafted at the crafting bench for 1250 salvage. Next, we have a brand new game mode coming to the game. That's a training course. Nope, don't like that. Scrap that. Moving on to a brand new game mode coming to the zombies mode, there will be a brand new tutorial mode called the Zombies Training Course. For anyone who is brand new to zombies, Treyarch is releasing this tutorial mode to give players a run through the basics. It will teach players the following: how killing zombies and replenishing resources work, progressing through the map by buying doors and such, teaching the player about perks and armor, how to increase their weapon damage through the arsenal machine and pack-a-punch, how to use the Gobblegum system, and how to exfil. Then, looking over at one of the other side modes in zombies, directed mode, for those who are wondering, the brand new Citadelle Des Morts map will also have a directed mode experience. While we don't have an exact date when Treyarch will release this, they say it's going to be shortly before the launch of Season 2. So players will have to be quick if they want to get that special limited time calling card for completing the Easter egg ahead of time. Next, I'll talk to you guys about the events coming to Zombies, where we actually have 3 events coming to the game in the second half of this season. Starting off with Gobblegum Mania, which will run from December 5th to December 19th. Players will progress through this event by eating Gobblegum up to 50 times. And similar to the hit list event, there will also be personal and community rewards. For the personal side, you have rewards for eating 5, 10, 15, 30, and 50 gums, which include 1 Power Keg Gobblegum, the top prize emblem, the Gobblegum Grave Calling Card, 1 Timeout Gobblegum, and a Perk-a-Cola Gobblegum pack, which will include a soda fountain, Who's Keeping Score, stock option, Perkaholic, and an on-house. Then for the community rewards, players will be rewarded at 10, 25, 50, 75, and 100 million gums used, and the rewards are the following: the Gum Valanche loading screen, the Power Keg Gobblegum being unlocked for players to use, Stitched Up Spray, the Timeout Gobblegum being unlocked to use, and a new weapon charm called Newtonian. Next, looking over at the second event that'll be coming to Zombies, we have the Merry Mayhem event, which will also run from December 5th to December 19th. Progressing through this event is a lot simpler. All you have to do is get XP, so play the game however you wish. Doesn't even have to be zombies, could be multiplayer as well. And there are a plethora of rewards for players to earn, and they're as follows: the Holiday Fear emblem, the Necro Claws loading screen, the Nasty Nick calling card, the Light Mend ammo mod being unlocked to use, and a 30-minute double XP token, the Death Claws decal, the Tesla Storm field upgrade being unlocked to use, and a 30-minute double XP token, the Bitter Blizzard weapon charm, the Shrapnel Radar perk for multiplayer users only, a 30-minute double battle pass XP token, the 3-round burst weapon mod for the XM4, which will turn the XM4 into a burst rifle rather than an automatic. And for Black Cell owners, there will also be a special blueprint for the power drill. And then lastly, for completing everything, you will unlock the Maelstrom shotgun. Last but not least, the third event that'll be coming that will involve zombies in this season, we have Archie's Festival Frenzy, which will run from December 19th to January 3rd. During this event, players will earn, quote, Jolly Archies, which are a form of currency that can be earned by eliminating zombies and can be spent in the event shop for gifts of various rarities. Specifically what is still unknown. Next, looking at what is a big chunk of content that we'll be receiving this season, we have our limited time modes. Yes, I said modes plural because we're getting 2. First is the grand return of Jingle Hells from Black Ops Cold War, though this time the map that will be getting a Christmassy makeover is Liberty Falls, where there'll be frozen up rivers, snow on the ground, a bunch of Christmas decorations, you get the gist. And all enemies on this map will also be receiving a special holiday look, so manglers, the abominations, the vermin, regular zombies, etc. But this mode isn't just for looks, it also comes with a variety of gameplay changes. Those changes being that a Santa Claus will be flying over through the sky and potentially dropping gifts to the player. There will be Gobblegum gifts that the player can earn. Snow piles will be around the map where players can pick up snowballs and throw them at enemies. A new power-up will be introduced called Naughty or Nice, which will present the player with gifts or spawn in vermin, depending on what the outcome is. Snowmen will also be around the map, which will house either a zombie hiding in it or some more gifts. Zombies may also drop presents, which can, quote, be opened for a gift that keeps on giving. whatever that means. The SAM trial will also be rebranding to the SAMTA trial, which will have presents for the player when it spawns. And lastly, there will be a new special round that will presumably be replacing the usual vermin rounds, called Frozen Rounds. During these rounds, the fog will roll in. Transit players are screaming right now. During these rounds, players will be slowed heavily if they are outside, so seek shelter. The second limited time mode we will be receiving is one themed around Squid Game for Squid Game 2's launch. Well, we have absolutely no idea what this is going to mean, as we've never had any sort of collab with zombies like this before. My thoughts are that it will perhaps be something similar to the Get High minigame that was in Modern Warfare 3, where players had to race through an obstacle course, perhaps this time with a zombies twist. We also don't have a date for this event yet, all we know is that it's going to be in January next year. Before moving on to the brand new map, I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for sticking it out in the video so far. If you enjoy this type of content, you're definitely in the right place, and you should consider liking and subscribing. It helps small channels like mine a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. That's it though, back to the video. Starting off our map-specific section with a little bit of story. Set in an old castle, as well as the surrounding village, it is an overcast Avalon dawn. A light mist rises from the wet grounds as the crew arrives. A reunion with an old colleague provides confirmation that Sam's intel was sound, and that Franco, a local French syndicate crime boss and the focus of Maya's revenge, is on site, with Kraft as his hostage. With this being the same crew we played as on the Terminus Island map, we'll of course be seeing some very familiar enemy types. Those being vermin and parasites are both returning on this map. We don't know which one will serve as the special enemy round. I'm thinking maybe both, which would be a little scary. Something new. We don't usually get special rounds that have multiple enemy types coming around. Maybe they'll go back and forth, or maybe they'll just pick one. The Amalgams are also returning as the elite enemy on this map. But alas, Mangler haters rejoice. We have a brand new enemy coming in, but it might be a little bit more annoying. We'll have to wait and see. But the new enemy type is going to be the Doppelgast. These new ghoulish enemies are quick on their feet, racing around, and even having an ability to teleport to dodge bullets. These monsters will make quite the change of pace compared to the slow-moving Manglers we've found on the last two maps. These enemies are mostly going to be melee-based, which is good, but they will stand still occasionally and start firing out needles at players, which will damage and cause players to hallucinate. Whatever that entails, we have no idea yet, but it's probably a good idea to avoid getting hit. These enemies also serve as a new part of the Dark Ether evolutionary chain, where if they consume zombies, yes, consume, very similar to amalgams, eventually they'll turn into an amalgam themselves, so it's a good idea to take them out as quickly as possible. Next, having already briefly mentioned that the Terminus crew is returning, gonna quickly go through those real quick. We'll be playing as Weaver, Carver, Gray, and Maya, and while not playable, there are other characters returning as well, which will be Raptor 1, Dr. Strauss, William Peck, Ravenov, who is back from Cold War, and Sam. On to something a little more exciting though. We have the Wonder Weapons, plural, that will be found on the map. There will be 4 brand new Wonder Weapons found on Citadelle Des Morts, and they're all going to be swords. I can't say what they're exactly called or I'll get demonetized, but they're swords. That's cool. They're all going to have their own elemental ability, and they're going to go into the player's melee slot. Going through them really quickly, starting off with Caliburn, the Dragon's Fire, which will create a fiery maelstrom of burning undead flesh, setting zombies ablaze and summoning an immense fireball. Next, there's the Durendal, the Stag of the Storms, which summons thunderous power from the skies, discharging enough power to stun and stagger enemies before an electrical beam serves up a severe searing. Third, there's the Balmung, the Raven Shadow, which will allow you to cast your rotting foes into the ethereal abyss, warping nearby enemies with a focused liminal tear. And last but not least, we have Soleus, the Lion of Light, which will allow the player to have the warmth of the light course through them as they send foes screaming into darkness. Hey y'all, Future available here. Just also throwing it in there that there's also going to be a basic sword that you obtain in the map that you will then upgrade into these 4 variants. You won't just unlock the variant of your choosing. Then, looking over at some of the traps you will find on this map, beginning with the oil trap, players can activate this trap to tip over oil barrels, dropping burning oil down onto their foes underneath them. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next, I'm going to put a little asterisk on this one because we technically don't have any confirmation that this is a trap yet, but I'm fairly certain that it probably is. But we have the lion cannon, where players are going to use this to break into the castle by rotating the cannon around. We've seen a little gif of this around. It's unknown though if we're going to be able to use it to damage zombies. But if it's not a trap, they do tease that the player will potentially be able to climb into the cannon, so we might be able to use it as a form of transportation, similar to cannons found in other games like Sea of Thieves. So that'll be cool. Hey y'all, future available once again. Just another little update. There is going to be another trap. There will be a red ring on the ground that will knock zombies down and empower the player with magic bullets. This will act potentially similar to the Ring of Fire field upgrade found in Cold War Zombies. Also, the lion cannon that I talked about looks like it won't actually be a trap, but could maybe still be a way to get around the map. But we do have some real confirmation about transportation in the map, which is going to be that there are going to be red portals that will be around, scattered about, that you'll be able to use to get from point A to point B. Then looking at some more Mythic gameplay updates that are going to kind of affect the game overall, not map specific or anything. Starting off with Mangler spawns in mid to high rounds are being halved. Thank you, Treyarch. These guys are so annoying. And there's also going to be a cap on how many Manglers that can spawn at any time, which will ramp up until the player hits round 100, where there will no longer be a cap after that, which is kind of fair. You'd expect high rounds like that to be hard. Though there will still only be a max amount of Manglers that can spawn. It's not like they're going to remove the cap and all of a sudden you're going to have 50 Manglers spawning back to back to back. They're also going to reduce the Mangler's arm cannon HP, so it'll be easier to take out. And then another big gripe that we've been seeing in the community recently, they're going to be significantly reducing the length of special rounds, which just means you're going to be squashing less bugs. So the vermin or parasite rounds, depending on which map you're playing, there's going to be a lot less of them spawning, and there's going to also be a delay between when they spawn. So right now, if you hop into game, it's like bang, 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 bang. They're very quick and rapid to spawn. There's going to be a little bit of time between that now. They're also going to be making it so parasite damage will now scale between rounds 31 and 91. So they're going to hit a little harder as you get up there. Base zombies are seeing a similar change where their damage is being increased between the rounds of 150 and 400. So I know there's not many people that go that long, but for those who are, you expect to be getting hit harder. And then kind of a more map specific one now. On top of the usual XP and call-in card the players will receive for completing the new Easter egg, players will also be receiving a new skin for Weaver. But with that all being said, that is absolutely everything that you need to know about Season 1 Reloaded and Black Ops 6 Zombies. Thank you everyone for hopping in for the ride, and if you want to see more content like mine, this is your reminder to like, subscribe, and if you have the time, comment about what you're most excited about this update. It helps small channels like mine a ton, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. GG's.